That's a good spot.
Lovely.
We're Karen and James, and welcome to our channel. And in the last video we stayed on a campsite in Crystal Palace, but 1 week turned into 10 nights as there's a lot to see and do in London, and it did become a little tiring. So now we're on our way to find a park up near Hampton Court Palace, the residence of Henry VIII.
2.1 metre. I think we're 2 metre.
No, it's a case of finding a spot. Oh no, there's one there.
There's one here as well.
But I'd rather be in a corner. I want to know where these toilets are. Parked here for the night. Can't see any signs saying you can't park overnight. There's a bin. Can't see any toilets. Not a bad park up. A bit of a wooded area at back. There doesn't seem to be any signs saying that you can't park overnight. Well, we're leaving. We decided to check out a different park up as this one didn't have a toilet, and it's not a definite must have, but it's always a bonus if we find a park for night and there's a public toilet to use. But we do have our emergency camping loo to fall back on. Looks like we found a better park up. Apparently there's a toilet on this one. So off we go. Yes, James has got his seatbelt on. Just a dodgy connection on the seatbelt. It's a bit annoying that, isn't it?
No, it's a lot annoying.
Will we fit under that barrier?
I think so.
But the sign says, welcome to Hurst Park. Park opening hours. So the barrier closes. The gates have to be open due to a vehicle being locked in the ground between the closing times and the opening times. A 40 quid charge will be made. If locked in, it gives you a number. So
just stay locked in all night, we're not going till the morning. There's a toilet here, and this one's outside of it. So you can park here because it's outside the area.
it looks like these are the barriers that close at 4:30. Just had a little wander. That gate back down there, there's this bay is before that barrier.
It is.
So if we stay in this one, we're not technically locked in.
Well, the toilet will be locked at the same time as the gate, I'd imagine. It's not a 24-hour toilet.
Well, we've got our emergency toilet, remember?
Oh no. Yes.
Needs must. So if we stay in this one, we're technically not locked in.
Technically not.
Should we stay in this bit?
I prefer the other park up, to be honest.
Do you?
Yeah. More rural feel to it.
It's muddier. What shall we do?
Well, next job is...
Which park up shall we go to? Back to the original park up.
Well, we've investigated.
Can we find somewhere right in the corner somewhere?
It's around car park.
Do you want to park there next to that bit of...
Well, that's the main road there.
Yeah, but there's main road and there's a house up there.
Where?
Up there.
Where?
There.
What, there?
Yeah.
So?
There.
There, over the road?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I could go there if you want. It's close to the road, but it's...
Why do you want to be right close to it?
I don't, but there's nothing...
That's too tight there. We're just going to drive round and round and round and round. There. That's sort of a cornerish place. Some bollards here. Oh, it sort of goes square that way. It goes square this way, so you need to straighten it up and go like that. Yeah, that's what I meant. We arrived back at the first park up just as darkness was approaching, and after setting up the camper for the evening, it was time to eat and get some rest before the next day's adventure at Hampton Court. What time is it?
Not early. been a very comfy, relaxing morning. It is before 11. But it's been a lovely, comfy park up. Really cosy as usual. Felt like getting moving, just having cups of tea and just enjoying the ambience, so to speak.
We procrastinate too much.
We're pretty bad, but it's too comfy. We had the diesel heater on again this morning. What did it get up to?
31, but it's 24 degrees now.
But it's been off for about 10 minutes and I've got the back door open, so it's kind of like, yeah, it's warm and cosy. It's too cosy. We are up, but get moving and go to Hampton Court.
In 1515, Thomas Wolsey was the newly appointed Archbishop of York, and he was granted a 95-year lease by the Knights Hospitaller who owned Hampton Manor. Wolsey devoted 10 years of his tenancy to building and developing the palace. It didn't go unnoticed by many nobles that it was a grander design of any other king's palace. Its magnificence caused much envy within the nobility, and under duress, Wolsey in 1525 was obliged to transfer the lease to Henry, who acquired the freehold in 1531. Henry made substantial alterations and extensions until around 1540. It was a palace devoted to celebrations and pleasure, and during his reign all 6 wives had stayed within its lavish walls. It was the most magnificent palace of England. Palace entrance this way. This way.
Yeah.
Do you actually need to do the ticket though?
Well, we've got one, so...
Yeah, but do you not need to... If you go in there... Alright then. We've arrived. Let's go take a look around. Oh, that's a really impressive ceiling.
It is.
Isn't it?
Beautiful.
Here in the base court, visitors would have been expected to wait to see if King Henry would greet them, and to ensure they didn't get bored, Henry installed a wine fountain so they could help themselves to free wine.
Just a glass of wine.
What?
Well, at times it was actually filled with wine.
James, you can't have a glass of wine out there.
I've got a glass, so I can't. I'll just...
James, don't you embarrassing me. We're in a place where kings and queens have lived and died, and you're trying to drink wine out of their fountain.
They switched it off.
Moving on to the Great Hall, used for dining and entertaining. Meals cooked in nearby kitchens were served here twice a day, and on special occasions the Great Hall was used for plays and dances. James I spent Christmas and New Year in 1603 here at Hampton Court to escape the outbreak of the plague in London. During the festive celebration, William Shakespeare and his company of players performed A Midsummer Night's Dream at the Great Hall. Was this aimed at you?
I think it probably was.
Installed in 1540 on the gatehouse to the inner court is the astronomical clock. It displays the time and the date, the 12 signs of the zodiac and the phases of the moon, the latter making it useful for those visiting via boat on the Thames due to the relation of tidal flow and the phase of the moon. Somewhere at the back of Hampton Court is James trying to find his way. Shall we go this way? Let's see what lurks behind this door.
In a store cupboard.
We're in a store cupboard. Come on, we don't think we should be there. Let's go back this way. Go through here. Right. We do have a map, but we're not using it. Where to now?
Well, that's the entrance. We want to go back in, do we?
Back in where? Oh yeah. Oh, I've lost sense of direction. I can't work out which is in and out. There's a copy of Catherine Howard's letter. This letter's a piece of evidence. This year writes to Thomas Culpeper, who she's been accused of adultery with, and according to that, it's said that her ghost haunts this corridor.
Ooh.
Catherine Howard was the fifth wife of Henry VIII. She was executed at the Tower of London in 1542, aged 19, for adultery and treason. It's claimed that after she was arrested at Hampton Court, she broke free from her guards and ran along this corridor, screaming out to the king for mercy. She never reached Henry, who was at prayer in the chapel. It's said that her ghost repeats this heartbreaking journey, screaming through eternity.
Well, we had 200 people working in these kitchens, and it's spread across 45 rooms.
Look at that fireplace!
It would have been a long pole which you'd have put through the carcass.
Yeah.
And then simply turn it. Some you'd hang that up, hang things up like maybe pheasant or chicken. Hang it above, maybe.
Just chucking some
Herbs. Not very much an ergonomic kitchen, is it? So I'm just going to go and get another ingredient.
When William III and Mary II took the throne in 1689, they commissioned Sir Christopher Wren to remodel Hampton Court. Inspired by the French Baroque style of the Palace of Versailles, the plan was to demolish the outdated Tudor buildings, replacing Gothic towers and chimneys with grand Baroque exteriors, elegant fireplaces and colourful ceilings. And as their money ran out, it became the Palace of Two Halves. And in 1702, William died from complications from a fall whilst riding his horse at Hampton Court. His sister-in-law Anne succeeded him.
Apparently these gardens fell into disrepair over the centuries, maybe sometime last century, just set out in front of their nice Georgian mansion, which is spectacular. I'm just grateful that, was it William? Ran out of money. Government weren't very keen on him spending that amount of money, replacing the whole lot. This was part of the Tudor palace, so it was actually demolished to make way for the Georgian.
I was just thinking what nice statues these are, but
I was looking at them thinking, looks like they could do with a bit of get a chisel on that and finish it off a bit.
they're covered in bags.
I know.
There you are.
Don't know why.
Where's my finger? There. Statues are covered in bags. Why? The Great Fountain of Hampton Court Palace Gardens. Spectacular.
This route avoids road closures on A3. You are on the fastest route.
Let's go. Let's go.